Hey guys, today I'll show you how to get started with Wrike, beginning with creating your first account. Let's head to the free trial section where you'll need to enter your email. We'll click try for free again and boom, your first account is created. Now enter your full name and the company you're working for. Accept the terms, select your country and hit next. Here, enter how many people work at your company and how many will use Wrike with you. Click next. This part's key for organization. Specify your team and your role within it. Hit next. Here it'll ask about our experience with CRMs, if we've used any before and understand how they work. If it's your first time, I recommend selecting beginner. It'll ask for a name for your first project. After naming it, click next and it'll prompt you to add tasks to this project. Click next again. It'll show 3 ways to view work: table, Gantt, or CRM tables. I'll choose table for now. Click next once more. Here you can start building your team by entering the emails of people you want to invite and assigning them roles you think they have in the company. You can invite more people later as shown in other tutorials. It's not 100% necessary now, so you can skip to the next section. After completing these steps, click the X in the top right to finish creating your account. How do you configure Wrike software? To do this, click the icon in the top left, then Settings, where you'll find various options. First is the Profile, where you can change personal details and set workspace language and region. You can also organize tasks and subtasks in your workspace, such as how you want them created. When creating a task, you can add different aspects and set its duration. Lastly, in this section, you'll find login and security to change your email and access code if needed. Then there's the work schedule found in personal settings and account management. In the personal section, I can now change the work schedule. As you can see, I currently have 2 schedules created. The days I don't work are highlighted in red. If I switch to the other program and select Change Work Schedule, you'll see it updates because I'm creating a new work schedule from Account Management. In Account Management, under Work Schedules, we can add and edit programs, set daily hours, edit the work week, and also mark holidays on these calendars. For example, if I change it now and switch back, selecting a specific program, you can see the holidays are now marked. We can also mark days we've worked overtime to keep everything well organized. Next, we have the information section. The account setting isn't crucial, but this one is important: email preferences. In this section, we can configure how emails sent to Wrike.com from a specific address generate tasks in specific spaces or folders. We can also set the task type. This can be customized for various email addresses as needed. Additionally, we can adjust notification settings. As you can see here, we can set up a separate email for notifications. In the task updates section, we choose which notifications we want to receive. For instance, we can opt to be notified when a folder or task we're following is shared with someone new. We click the tick, Save Changes, and now whenever someone performs this action, I'd receive a notification. You have many options to explore and see if they interest you. Finally, in the personal settings section, we'd also have the appearance option where we could customize it to suit our preferences. I use the dark theme to reduce eye strain. Next, we could go to the users section where we can invite different users to our space, filter users, view the work agenda we've seen, create request forms, workflows, all covered in other videos, custom fields, and the crucial automation section where every time an action is taken, it's a whole series of things. These automations are also shown in other videos on our channel. We could view and change our subscription plan, and finally modify all our account security settings. Additionally, we have this settings section where we can enable generative AI, which, if applied, would essentially suggest tasks we often repeat that could be automated instead of doing them manually. How does Wrike's software work? On the left, you can see a taskbar. At the top of each project or task, you'll find more options. which we'll look at shortly. First, on the left sidebar, there's a search bar. Enter a task name to find it quickly. You can also search within projects if you prefer. This search feature includes a recent tasks section and your folders. There's an inbox for messages from colleagues at mentions and archived completed projects. Plus, in the More section, we can add control panels. You can see my tasks in a video that shows how to organize your tasks. It demonstrates how to add tasks, request forms, timesheets, reports, work items, and workflows to My Tasks. You can even set up a view for your favorite tasks. There's also a section for pinned projects, allowing quick access to your anchored items. From here, you can unpin a project or enter it if needed. Next comes the Spaces section. Here we have a drop-down to access our personal space and all spaces we've created or that have been shared with us. In this case, I don't have any shared spaces, but if I switch to my other account and go to Shared with Me, we can see the tutorial project I shared in a video about how to properly share your projects. If we continue, we could see all the tools available within our spaces. In this test space example, I have tools like the test calendar, test diagram, test report, and test panel. We have 4 different tutorials explaining each in detail, and below that, we'd have folders and projects where we could hide or show projects within our folders and access these projects. If I entered one, for example, I could see all the tasks or extra projects I've set up. Within these projects, we'd have an organization bar at the top where we could find the option to pin our project to the left sidebar. As I showed you earlier, by simply clicking here, we can change the different views. We also have a tutorial on this. You can filter all tasks or projects within, create a public link to send to someone outside our company, and adjust visual settings. For example, you can sort by rows or organize by cell borders, making it more visually appealing or compact if you have many tasks, okay? We can create automations, share projects, and if we click More here, we can create tasks, projects, folders, spaces, or invite people to our projects. How do spaces work in Wrike? Alright, in Wrike we have various ways to organize, and the most basic unit is what we call spaces. We can create as many spaces as we want, and add as many team members as needed for our company's work. Creating a space is simple. Just click this drop-down, select space, and you'll see template options. We have a video on templates, but for now, let's create a blank one and name it. We can set it as members only, private, or public for any workspace member, and even change its icon. We can add members to this space and include different types of work items. Click Create and voila, we have a new space. This helps organize your company's projects, keeping everything well structured. How do we create tasks or projects in Wrike? To create tasks or projects, we need to understand that Wrike has spaces. Within these spaces, we can create as many folders, projects, and tasks as we want. To create a project, click More in the Projects and Folders section of your space. Here you can create a new project or folder. Projects can contain tasks, while folders help organize these projects. I'll create a project now. I have a name in mind, so I'll click Create. I'll make another one. If I wanted, I could organize these in a folder with any name I choose. Now watch as I click and drag the projects into this folder to keep everything organized. Then within these projects, we can add new elements like new projects or folders. If we need more folders, include other projects, or directly create our tasks, we simply click Add Element or the plus sign at the top right to add a task or project in a new folder. We name it as desired, and our first task is created. Here we can update the task status, assign it to our team, set a due date, for example today, add a brief description and mention our colleagues. Up here, you can copy the link to share with colleagues, mark as favorite, duplicate, or add to your tasks, in case you need to do it today and want it organized, printed, or deleted, whatever you need. Also, up here for any task, you can pin this project or any project you want. You could go right in and see all the tasks within this project. As you can see, I only have one now, but if I create another and go to tutorial, I'd see all tasks for this project. This way you can anchor it and quickly access the projects you need, making your work more efficient. How to organize your tasks in Write. I recommend creating solid projects with well-organized tasks inside. If you have similar projects, group them in folders like I've done here. How to best organize your tasks. Basically, within tasks, you have these options. What does it look like? Well, you need to add the typical name. Here, the next item is the task. Here you can update task status, start and end dates, but these aren't your only options. You can also click this plus to add status groups, location, files, progress, and importance. This might interest you. Set importance as low, high, or normal to track task priority. You have many options to view and use that can help you better organize your tasks. Up here you also have several options like filtering tasks. We'd add more filters to all tasks, showing a bar where we could filter by status and assignee. It's just me here since I'm doing a tutorial, but if I change this task status to in progress and filter, I'd see all my ongoing tasks. Lots of options, pending tasks, approvals, active, inactive work, or any status. You can organize this however you prefer and need. These filters can be really useful for many things. You also have settings to sort by priority, name, assignee, status, start and end dates. You can also create groups based on status or due date. You can add more sub-elements within your project and task structure. You can generate a public link, which is useful if you want to share tasks with someone outside your company. They'll only see that specific section. This public link limits their view, protecting your work, so you don't have to share everything. Also, in the top right, there's a share button to add people or copy the link in the bottom right to share. There's a plus icon in the top right where you can add tasks, projects, folders, create new spaces, or invite people. Here you can customize the menu, create new menu types or task types. You can even change the task icon and name. Now, you've created a new task type and can make a pending task. I'd add and open it and it'd have a unique icon to show it's in progress and currently important. How do you share your projects and tasks in Wrike? Well, to share your projects or tasks, simply go to the desired project and click on Share in the top right corner. This is one option. You can add someone from your team or invite via email. For example, I have a profile we'll use for this tutorial. We can assign a role for shared access and choose which work items to share. We can add an invitation message before sending. Now the other person needs to open it. Let's see how it works. The person would check their Gmail, find the invitation with your message, and choose to accept or decline. He'd accept the invite and, as you can see, the shared project would appear here for him to work with you. As admins only, we could modify project details like assigning tasks, changing project statuses, and so on. He can change project statuses, but task assignment is admin only. If we switch back to our profile, we could share again by clicking the plus icon if it's not shared, then hit invite. This is essentially the same process we did before, just from a different location. How does the calendar work in URI? In any space you can create tools, including the calendar option. Simply create a calendar, name it, and it's ready to use. Add layers to the calendar, at least one is needed to display it. These layers filter information for calendar display. Click More, Add Layer, Set Status with 3 options: Smart Task Filtering, Smart Project Filtering, or Classic without any filtering. For Smart options, select sources to filter from as needed. If I want to include subfolder tasks and set the filter type like status, I'll select All Active. Then we'd set the task duration display, either just the deadline or the full duration, and hit save. As you can see, I have a task I created earlier in a tutorial on task creation, not task organization. Now I've filtered by status, and since it's active, it appears here. Now I'll show you another calendar I've created, the test one. Let's go to that. Here I have 2 filters, a normal one without filtering, and a task filter. If I disable task filtering now, no tasks I've created within the filtered area appear in the calendar. I can change this filtering by clicking the 3 dots, then Settings. Here I can modify it, remove task sources, add more sources, and set the filtering criteria. I'd click Save to apply the changes. Now you can see all the tasks I've created. I'll show you. These are the ones in Project 1, and here they all are. I've simply applied a new filter to show tasks without any additional specifications. If I wanted to be more specific, I could filter by start date, for example. If I go to the calendar and add a new filter layer for January 10th, select the test folder, include subtasks, and set it to filter by start date. I can, for instance, show only this week's tasks. We'd set the desired duration and click Save. Now if I remove the tasks, you'll see only the tasks I have scheduled for this week. How do reports work in Wired? Within any space, we can go to Tools and add a new report. Here we have different options. First, we need to name the report. Then we have various report types. We can create a custom report that we can personalize. We can generate reports like active task by assignee, weekly project status, overdue task by assignee, and more. These are essentially report templates. If we choose a custom report, we can select the data source that we want the report to pull from, whether it's projects, tasks and subtasks, or time entries. We can also choose the report design, like table or column format, and how we want the report to be grouped, such as by status. Finally, you can add any filters you want to the report. These filters are similar to the calendar video in this guide. You can choose any filter you like, but I won't use one. I'll just create it. Basically, it'll generate a report of everything happening now, all our active tasks. Depending on how you filter it, you'll get different reports. Maybe you want only in-progress tasks or a report on one person's work. You can filter and optimize this however you like. You can add more status groups by assignment or by creation date, making your report much more visual and quick to understand. How do control panels work in Wrike? In any space, you can add a tool called a control panel. Essentially, what you'll do here is create a quick shortcut to any option you want, or make a custom list that suits your needs. For example, we have pre-made templates like a work list. As you can see, we have a control panel for this list of tasks. We can add more sections too. We'd create a new section adding to the main and work sections we already have. This way we can add as many sections as we want and include any widgets we desire. For instance, if we need a section showing the percentage of completed tasks, we could add it. Mine's at 0 now as I haven't done any tasks, but yours would show the percentage here. We could add more sections, create new ones if we wanted, go to this one, add widgets, and we have the option to create our own custom widget where we'd basically set up on the right side what data we want it to use, the filters we want to apply to this data to display it here on our dashboard, and how we want this dashboard to look visually. We create the widget and it's done. How do tables or views work in URI? Well, depending on how we want to visualize our projects, we can add different views within our folders or projects. As you can see, these views are shown above. You have the table view and you can click on More Views. In this More Views section, you can add various options. There's a wide variety, like the popular Gantt chart. We can add this view and make it personal or public so everyone in the workspace can see it. Once created, we'll have a new view. This view was just added to the folder. Now I see the folder, its projects, and their contents. For the Gantt chart, I can add or remove items using those small arrows, which is typically the first step. For example, if research came first, then review, and execution after, I could arrange it that way and organize it as the project truly requires. We can add these views within projects too. In projects, we have the table and could add this diagram to each one. As I've shown, views are diverse. You can add many different types in various styles. We could also create a file section to upload all necessary project files and so on. How do you create automations in Wrike? In any space, we can create automations using the button in the top right corner, any automation we want in our workspace, whether in the overview or in our folders and projects. If we click the automation button, as you'll see here, we can create our first rule. There are two ways to create an automation, with a custom rule or with pre-made templates in the program. If we choose a custom rule, as you can see, we manually set each part, what triggers the rule, add conditions for it to occur, and specify the action we want to happen. But we also have various templates here that we can use to our advantage. There might be a template that's exactly what we're looking for. We also have AI suggestions, which you can activate by watching our video on configuring Wrike software. It offers tips on automating repetitive tasks that we can streamline. For instance, if I go to dates, we have various templates here. As you can see, the first one removes a task or project's due date when its status changes to X. If we click, you'll see the pre-designed trigger, saving us the setup work. It asks what to apply the rule to, tasks, projects, or to-dos, an option I added, shown in the task creation video. We'll add the trigger. When the status changes to completed, the action occurs. We can add a condition if we want, but I won't do that here. Finally, change the due date, and here you'll see the empty field designed. As you can see, there's a help section with a question mark showing how to use formulas, but templates come with pre-designed formulas. Just click Create and you'll have your first automation set up. Now, whenever you complete a task, its due date will be automatically removed. To add another automation rule, just click Add Rule and repeat the process. How do you export or import projects in Wrike? To do this, go to your project, click the three dots at the top, select More. From there, you can export the table to Excel, export the entire project, or import data. Let's start with exporting. If you want to export the project table, click Export to Excel. This will create an Excel file named after your project. Then open Google Sheets, click Import, upload the file, and import the data. You've now exported all your Wrike data to a spreadsheet. For importing data, which is typically done from Excel, it's important to use the template Wrike provides. Basically, we need to click the three dots, select Import, then Import from Excel. It'll show two import options: download a simple template or use advanced mode. I recommend downloading the template. Once you have it, go to your sheets, import this template, add your data, and you'll have your custom template ready. Here you can modify the data as needed. For example, in the task name field, let's say we enter task. Once you've created this Excel file, simply download it in Excel format. Then go back to your tutorials or project, mine's called a tutorial, and import the Excel table. We select the file, click Next, import it, and I had a small issue. I set high priority, but if we leave it as is, download and re-upload. We select the file, import it, and now as you can see, it's imported. We'd refresh the page, and in the tutorial section, we'd see the newly imported file, which is this one here, Project 1 New Summarization Task, with the date we set and the importance level, which we could change if needed. How to quickly find tasks or projects in URI. To search for tasks, we used to go to the search bar and type the name of the folder or project we're looking for. If I search tutorial, I see many folders, but I can access and review the tutorial tasks. To find tasks in a specific project, like a pinned one, we can use different filters. The first filter option is for tasks, all tasks, active tasks, or my active tasks. We can add more filters like status, pending tasks, creation date or due date, whatever we need. We can also sort by priority, name, assignment, or status to find notes more quickly and easily. To customize your menu in Wrike, go to More on the left side, okay? Here we can customize our menu. As you see, we have many options we can arrange as we like. Let's say we want to visualize something directly here, okay? Besides the search and inbox, we can also show items created by me, okay? We can drag these items, okay? Add this and it becomes visible automatically. As you see, it's not visible now, okay? If I make it visible, my tasks and favorite tasks would also be visible, okay? I could hide my work tasks. If we save, you'll see my menu structure change, fully customized. Also remember, always in your tasks, okay? You can pin projects in the anchored section. For example, if a project isn't pinned, you can click the little icon to quickly access it whenever you need. This is in addition to everything else, okay? In spaces, you can choose between two views. Show only the selected space or display all spaces. This helps customize your view. If you have few spaces, seeing all might work better. Viewing all spaces lets you see different tasks across spaces. But if you're busy, selecting just one space can help you focus on what needs to be done there more quickly. How does pricing work in Wrike? We have 4 different payment plans: Team, 7, Business, Enterprise, and Pinewood, okay? The first 2 have set prices for all users, but Enterprise is customized to your needs. They'll give you a quote based on what you want from the software, okay? Let's look at the differences. In the team plan, you can add 10 to 15 people, but you can't brand your space, okay? You won't have customizable schedules or real-time reports. No enterprise API, which companies might want, or advanced data analysis. It won't suggest tasks, so automation isn't easy. No element creation or resource management options. No advanced capacity planning either, okay? The second plan, the business plan, costs $500, as you can see, for 200 people. Important to note, unlike the other plan, this one offers more storage per person. Each user gets 5 GB of workspace storage, okay? This plan includes work plans for the entire account and customizable work schedules too. It adds real-time reports but not the BI app or advanced data viz. It includes workflow automation and resource management. Unlike the first plan, Enterprise has no user limit. From 5 to unlimited users can access your space. You get 10 GB storage per user. It has all project management and reporting features, except advanced data analysis. But it includes the BI API and work tracing. You'd have all options, got it? You also had all the resource options that many companies might find interesting. The last plan, Pain, like the previous one, adds a limited number of users but increases storage. Each user gets 15 GB of storage per workstation. It adds project management features, report views, and advanced data analysis and visualization that could benefit your company. It includes all the working intelligence tools, okay? With AI, resource management, admin, security, and extra features, it's the most comprehensive plan. It has a higher budget, so you'd need to discuss with the Wrike team to get a quote based on your specific needs. How does the Wrike demo work? Basically, you'll get a free 15-day trial to test the product, but this might not be enough time to fully explore and see if it's the right product for you. So in the top right, where you see your remaining trial days, you can click to chat with the Wrike team. Why? Well, to request more trial days or get an extended demo, you can also do this via Profile and Settings. Click Settings, then go to Subscriptions in Subscriptions, click Request Trial. You'll need to add your phone number and email you'd request more time to test. They'll review your need, discuss it, and you can try it more thoroughly.